All right. All right. Well, welcome. Thank you for watching. So, you might be asking yourself, Jeremy, you have access to multiple gyms. Why are you in front of this blandly painted wall? And the reality is, this is about things that you can do at your house. And yeah, I could have shot this video at a lovely fitness facility, but rather I wanted to invite you into my living room corridor to show you what is possible in your own home with what you have access to. So, a lot of these videos are going to be taking little snapshots around the house because honestly, that's where I find the ability to do my fitness. You're busy, I'm busy, we want to get it in any way we can. We want to just knock away any barriers we have. So here we are. Welcome to my home. We're about to get fit. All right, just a quick bit of exercise theory before we get started. Something I like to call the rule of threes when it comes to your sets. If you're not sure what a set is the amount of repetitions that you do with an exercise. A repetition is simply the movement you are doing. So let's break that down. Let's just use bicep curls. This one is a repetition. If I were to do 12 of those ones, that is a set of 12 repetitions. Now, what I love about the rule of threes is it allows you to self-govern your progress. What I mean by that is this. We'll stay with 12. 12 is divisible by 3, 4, which means 4, 4, and 4. In this paradigm, the first 4, yeah, it should be pretty easy. The second 4, you should be like, oh, okay, I understand why we're doing this now. This is okay. And then the last 4, you should be like, oh, Rochford, I am going to punch you the next time. It's like, it's burning. This is. And the reason why this is important is with the first 4, the second 4, and the last 4, you can self-govern because you may have a band that's unmarked and you don't know that that's a heavy. If it's a heavy and you're jumping into it and you're getting to number 5 and you're like, oh gosh, how? Well, then we know that that's just way too much resistance. But likewise, let's say you get a thin band that's a light resistance and you're like 75, 76, I don't even know why I'm doing this anymore. Well, then we know that you are in beast mode with your biceps and you just simply need a higher resistance. So the rule of threes is where I like to start. I like to start at 12, like I said, and it works with anything. Overhead press, your first 4 should be fairly simple. Your second 4, you just start to feel the sweat. And by the last 4, you should dislike me to the point where you are sweating, you're starting to burn a little bit, but you're also understanding, oh snap, this is going to work. So start with the rule of threes, whether you do 12, 15, 18, it allows you to self-govern and you know the entire time that you're doing it safe and effectively. What I like to do before I do any exercise with any of my clients or even myself is do a quick run through without the weights so I can understand biomechanically how I feel. So something like an overhead press. What I would say is start out with your knees bent, sort of like a soccer goalie stance. Get into your position and just push your arms up overhead. This way you can start to feel what it feels like to have the muscles move and propel the arms so that when you add the weight, you know what it's supposed to feel like so that if there's any pain or struggles that you may have, you know how it should feel without the resistance and then you know how to adapt appropriately. Same thing with a bicep curl. Bend the knees and you're just curling up. And it's very important to remember things like that. If you look from the side, nothing's really moving. The bicep is pulling the lower half of the arm up, making that elbow fulcrum, and then you're good to go. So what I recommend real quick before you do any of these with the resistance bands, just get into the motion, watch the video, do the activity without the resistance band so that when you add the resistance, you already know what it's supposed to feel like biomechanically. What's going on? So we talked about you're noticing the hoop, right? Like that's how honest I am with you guys. That's how much I care. I'm I'm not even going to pretend that my kid's basketball hoop isn't right there in the exercise pathway, but it's all good. That's the love I have for you. Like, I'm going to be honest with you because you deserve it. And speaking of love, we've talked about my love for the door anchor. This has infinite possibilities, but I wanted to go over how best to use it so there was no confusion. So you want this thick part on the side of the door where you aren't. This thin part goes between the door and the frame, and this little dangly here is going to face you. Going to show you a few pro tips, but let's put it in action real quick. So you open your door a little bit, smidge if you will. Now, real important, close the door forcefully. Pro tip, pull on it. Pull on it. There's normally some give when you first put it. You don't want that to happen when you're exercising and vulnerable, because that is a surprise you do not want. So, door is shut, fully latched. You're pulling. You are good. Should be as simple with your resistance band. Take the handle, bend it sideways, lace it through, find the balance, and you're good to go. Whew! I don't know. I'm breaking a sweat just from showing you how to do some of these things. So if I'm sweating, man, that just tells you how good of a workout you can get. And that's the thing, like that's why I want to call it Losing Weight Smarter, because you don't have to go to these extravagant lengths to start getting in the shape you want. Just small, good decisions consistently over time with the right expert knowledge, and boom, anything you want, truly anything you want. Well, maybe not anything. Like even if I wanted to be an excellent basketball player, I never could. But literally just about almost anything you want is possible. So, get your bands, get your mat, get your water, get your towel, and get to work so that we can all start losing weight smarter. If you have any questions, by all means, just let me know. Shoot a message, shoot an email, get in touch. Like, you know where to find me. So now that we've got the information, boom, let's get to work.